Cool here, and welcome to another episode of Coolcraft Season 7. Now, in that opening time-lapse there, I finally got around to expanding a bit of the base, and by that I mean, obviously, just building out this giant cobblestone platform, which we are probably going to be filling with something, at least partially, later in this episode. However, in between episodes, a little bit of something has occurred. We have finally updated to 1.21.8, back on the most recent version of Minecraft, which means there's a few new things that we gotta take a look at. Speaking of which, I actually haven't taken a look at the Garden Awakens drop either, despite the fact we've had 21.5 on the server for a while, but regardless, with the start of an episode obviously means the start of another sacrifice, and we got some pretty bad news last time, or very cryptic bad news. I don't know, there hasn't been too much communication here, but hopefully this will be a good variety of things this time. And here we go. Okay, things look like they've gotten better. Better enough, I guess. And we got another knowledge book. Dang, this thing really likes to spit these things out. Oh, interesting. Didn't we already have the lollipop? I guess this is a slightly different lollipop. Hang on, let me go to a crafting table. I'm not gonna wait like last episode. By the looks of things, there is now an enchanted variant of the golden lollipop, which, considering it's craftable, tells me that I might need to do a little bit of acquiring of existing lollipops before I can make that one. Okay, right, so what I'm assuming now is I've got myself a stack of the regular golden lollipops here, and is this is the old golden apple recipe. Well, no, actually it's not, because I guess the old golden apple recipe would have had a regular apple in the middle and gold block around. This has an already goldified lollipop in the middle and golden blocks around. And regardless, that's kind of expensive, but I guess that there's a reason why we did the gold farm in the... Well, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but first of all, I want to see... Actually, you know what? Let's talk about what happened in the last episode. Let's start with what the thumbnail was showing in the last episode. I built this wall around the outside of my base, which, hey, that needs to be extended now. We'll probably get to that later in this episode, but more importantly, what I spent most of last episode doing is fixing my gold farm here, because it's a, relatively obscure design, and of course Mojang had changed a couple things since the last time I'd built this, so I had to, figure out why the heck it was broken. It turns out, chicken jockeys. So that's fun. But yeah, this has given me a substantial amount of gold, which can theoretically be used to make a whole ton of these to sell at the candy store. Speaking of which, let's actually figure out how good these are. In fact, actually, I have beacon effects right here. That might be the thing. Let's get away from these beacon effects so I can tell actually how good this is. Alright then, here goes the lollipoppin' of the enchanted variety. Okay. Seems similar to an enchanted golden apple. Let's see, we got regeneration 2 for like 30 seconds. Absorption 4 for 2 minutes. Speed 2 for 3 minutes. Haste 2 for 3 minutes. Resistance for 5 minutes, and fire resistance for 5 minutes. Okay, that is pretty substantial. So, yeah, I hope that people will buy these. Seriously, there have been 0 sales at the candy shop so far. To be fair, people have barely played since I've introduced the candy shop, but still, there have been 0 sales. This is, hopefully this will turn things around. Maybe I'll have to offer, like, a discount. Buy, half of the chest of CBI bars and get, like, 10 of these things free or something like that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyhow, Alright, so I know that we've updated to this update a little bit late, but I still want to do that new 1.21.6 stuff that I haven't gotten to do yet, which means we're going to need to go to a brand new Soul Sand Valley. Or first, we get the music disc. Jackpot! And, okay. For a second there, I thought that was about to fall right into the lava. All we want is the music disc, which you probably heard at the beginning of this episode, but I wanted to just physically acquire it in-game anyway. That was actually relatively easy. Now let's go find a brand new Soul Sand Valley biome. Not seeing any dried ghast. Oh, never mind. Here's a dried ghast. Whew. That didn't take very long. I know you can craft these, but I'm just gonna go and pick this up. And now back to the base. Alright then, now we wait a bit of a while for this guy to hatch, hydrate, whatever it is. And yeah, I guess I'll come back once something interesting happens. Probably when I got a fully grown dried, or happy ghast, because, you know. Alright, I just got back to the computer after stepping away for a moment, and there it is. There's the happy ghast. No, is that... No, I took the liberty of grabbing a shulker box of snows from the old snow factory. Now, come here. Are you fully grown? Yes, you are, which means that I need to figure out how you ride one of these things. Alright, I have created a harness, which can, there we go, and hey, look, oh, happy ghast, which I actually have not used yet, so I think you can rise with space. Going down, you literally just have to look down. That is kind of dumb, and oh wow, this thing is slow. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be this slow, but oh boy, it surely is. But hey, you get the nice cinematic drive through the base here. Cannot look down, otherwise we will go down. To be fair, we also go up. Look up. Now, these guys can be a little bit loud, so I should probably silence them, but more importantly, I'm going to just park this guy on the, over this way. Out of sight, out of mind. I'll probably forget about it until I need it too much, because, oh yeah, I parked the happy ghast over here. Alright, so I've decided what I want to do now is I want to try to get to that other music disc, the one added in 21.7, which requires me to kill a chicken jockey, which those aren't the most common things of things, so I will have to, for sure, put some effort into finding it. Alright, after a few nights of looking for chicken jockeys, I just gave up and decided, hey, let's come back here and craft the shop stock of the enchanted golden lollipops. So yeah, that is this much gold blocks, which is actually a fairly large number, and then of course the regular golden lollipops. These are just apples. They need to be golden apples, and then golden there's a lot of crafting I gotta do. Alright, after way too much time that I thought I'd already put in, here's just the regular golden lollipops, and now we take all of the gold blocks and smush them down into these. How long could that take? Okay, so actually, as it turns out, that did not take very long. Weird, I swear it took longer to make the regular golden lollipops, but anyhow, let's get this stuff to the candy store so people can never buy this, because let's be real, no one's ever buying anything on this server again, I don't think. Alright, and we have now put the stock in the candy shop here. As you'll see, it is double the price of the regular golden lollipops because, well, I think it's at least double as good for these. I need to capitalize the D there and also barely fit everything on the slides. Anyhow, now that I've gotten this sort of stuff done, let's get on to what I guess the thumbnail title of the video said, because apparently I like leaving that stuff for later in the episode these days. Alright, so as the, as you would have guessed by now, we are building a sheep farm in a moment, and I have acquired the sheep necessary for this. They're in this big old pen back here where that temporary sheep farm I had was. So yeah, now we're going to, hopefully it's going to fit within all of this slime here, build the farm itself, and we'll figure out the storage system later, as we do. But yeah, let's get into, I guess, a time-lapse of the farm being constructed. Alright then, here is the farm completed. Now, this is a relatively compact design that I've come up with here. So you got your standard cells for the actual sheep to go in. 3 sheep will be placed in every hole. I don't know why specifically 3, that just seems like a good number to me for speed. And then we're going to have 3 holes per color, so 9 sheep per color in total. I somehow got only half the length that I needed for this when I was planning it out with the slime blocks. I don't know how, but yeah, we'll have the sheep go in these holes, and I've labeled with what color is supposed to go in each hole. Because the hoppers that come out here, each color of wool has its own hopper here, but the way these hoppers are, you know, connected here is a little bit, you know, potentially a bit strange, you might think, because of how I've had to do them all here, but it's also, you know, relatively simple. Anyhow, now I'm gonna go work on getting sheep from my pen over there into the farm here. So, yeah. Alright, I have inserted all the sheep. That took, you know, a little bit of time, but despite the fact that I was pretty sure I knew exactly how many sheep I had, I still ended up with, like, a bunch of extra sheep here. A little bit puzzling, but oh well, I guess that'll be some food for later. For now, though, it's time to install the shear distribution system. Or at least the actual thing that connects it, because I already got all the dispensers and droppers in. Just gotta place all the hoppers. Alright, shear distribution system and crafting system has been installed. Now, I don't have too much iron this season, so, oh wow, this is actually giving me an up-to-date. Honestly, kind of surprised that this interface is working live. Why the heck is the server? Anyhow, besides that, yeah, automatic shear crafting system, pretty, you know, simple stuff. We got a redstone loop here that's continuously crafting shears. Unless this thing backs up, the shears will slowly percolate their way down into all of these places. It'll take a really long time, but eventually it'll get there. Hopefully the 3 shulker boxes of iron ingots I've shoved in there will be enough, but I know it won't be. So I'll have to do that later. Anyhow, next is to the actual storage system, which I'm going to have to dig down a bit for this, but hey, actually, the happy gas will come in handy. Look at that. Gonna put in 16 shulker box loaders right here. And a storage system has been installed into the floor. Now, there is not currently a way to access the output of the storage, but that's not really an issue. What is more of an issue is that I have to actually fill this thing with a bunch of shulker boxes, which is going to be a lot of crafting of shulker boxes. But that's what you do for extremely over necessary bulk storage for a wool farm of this sort. Good thing we happen to have a crap ton of shulker shells right behind this wall. Right in here. Alright, that took a lot more shulker shells than I was expecting. Literally over a whole shulker box of shells to fill all of this, but no matter, we still have a lot of shulker shells left. And yeah, this farm is now just all set to just kind of be here and go. I guess I should actually make some sort of way to get down there and not fall off of down there when I'm down there. So yeah, why don't I just get doing that one quickly. I've got the underside here done, or I guess the underside of the storage system. It's also been like about a night, so I got in a couple dispenser as well, apparently. I got in a couple of shulker boxes. I need to look through these because I clearly missed some stuff in here. Oh, this one's got 3. No, that's one of the red shulker boxes. This one has other junk in it. Okay, that is sometimes, I guess, the issue. It's rare, but sometimes a shulker box will hop into the neighbor. Man, I swear I looked through all these and there was no junk in there. I was apparently very wrong. But yeah, as you can see, I've also put the wool on the floor to help me easily find what's where. I also wrapped it around back here, so in case I need to come back here to maintain the shulker boxes, that is completely possible. Also up here, I came and removed 14 shulker boxes from each of these. They got stored in these chests. That's a lot of shulker boxes. Because I realized if we just let this thing run with all the shulker boxes that are loaded in this, we would just have shulker boxes that would just kind of pile up because, well, we only can store a double chest and hoppers worth of shulker box in here, and this has an extra dispenser and hoppers worth of shulkers. I always had that. Now they've all been moved to all these chests. Who knows if we'll ever make use of these? I might just let them sit somewhere. Anyhow, okay, so I've just edited the episode up till now, and Replay Mod has been extremely fucking slow in the renders. I honestly do not understand it, but it's just like that last time-lapse me building this took almost an hour to render. It was a minute long. I don't know. Anyhow, now we're gonna go ahead and do some little bit of base beautification, like, you know, removing torches, putting up light poles, all those sorts of things. Alright, I've installed these lampposts along most of the paths that needed them here, meaning that I could basically remove most of the torches from the actual grass area, because, you know, an end goal here is I don't want to have torches like all this hanging around. I don't know what I'm doing around the, this building at the moment, but yeah, things are looking a bit cleaner. I'm now going to try to put some grass over this area around the new sheep farm, wool farm, whatever it is here. Alright, there is the grass placed in around the area. As you can see, here's kind of what I'm thinking of footprint for this building. We will see how that turns out next time, but before we get there, I have to extend the border wall that we did in the last episode. Alright, the wall has been extended to the edge of where the base is going quickly, and I also did the other side of the wall, on the area of the base that I kind of forgot about, because I didn't build over here today, apart from, you know, extending it. But yeah, wall covers the entire, like, I guess, final sections of the base, and with that, I think I'm gonna be done for this episode. So I'm going to have to say thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. Check out my game, which is linked in the description. And so on the next episode of Coolcraft Season 7. Bye!